Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is going to be about some ways a narcissistic person will make everything your fault, as narcissistic people don't do responsibility. Instead, they find a way to avoid taking any form of accountability. One of the ways a narcissistic person will make everything your fault is by shifting the blame over to you. They can quickly turn into the victim in front of your eyes and claim, well, if you hadn't have done something or you made them do something, as they will play the victim to avoid taking responsibility. They will minimize any of their wrongdoings and they will exaggerate anything that you haven't even done to make out that you are the person that's in the wrong, or they will go all out to guilt trip you into taking responsibility for things that you are not responsible for. Narcissistic people go all out to shift the blame, to make out that something is your fault and not theirs. Projection is another way a narcissistic person will go all out to make out that you're the one at fault. Narcissistic people can be some of the most envious people you could ever meet, and they will go all out to create a situation to provoke feelings of jealousy within you. And then when you go and speak to them about this, because you're open and honest, they will turn around and claim that you're jealous, you're bitter, you're insecure. And it's usually their own trigger of envy and jealousy within them that provoke them to create that scenario so that they could project out onto you. Gaslighting is another way a narcissist will make out everything is your fault. They will tell you said something that you never said. They will claim you promised to do something that you just said you would think about. They will claim that they never said something that you know full well they said they would do, as they're looking to gaslight your reality to serve their narrative, to suit their narrative. Provoking you is another way a narcissistic person will go all out to make out that everything is your fault. So if they feel like you have got the upper hand, if they feel like you have got enough evidence to, or if they feel cornered by enough evidence, they will go all out to wind you up, to goad you, to bait you, to get you going, to get that anger and frustration within you, to get that rise out of you, so that when you shout in frustration or throw something or attack them back, insult them back, because you've spent a day with them just chipping away, belittling you, so you turn around and call them a name, they stand back and act all shocked and like the victim and all offended, and how come you of all people could say that about me? I thought you understood me, I thought you truly got me. Well, they'll just stand there and say, wow, somebody's having a bad day, what's wrong with you, what's got into you? Because once they've got that reaction from you, they feel better about who they are as a person. They feel like you're no better than them. They don't recognise they provoke that within you. They recognise that you can also behave in ways similar to themselves. However, their narcissistic injuries, you didn't go all out to provoke them. And often if you were to know that something was upsetting them, you wouldn't do it. However, they fail to communicate these things. So instead they gaslight you, they project onto you, and they shift the blame onto you any way they can to make out that everything is your fault. And another way they will do this is by bringing up something that you did. So if you just try to have that normal communication that everybody does, because that's how we understand people, it's how we learn more about people, it's how we get along with people. You cannot go around your life never offending a single person. When it's just you one-on-one with another person, you can get to know that person and get to know who they are, so that you can be careful in your thought and your speech and your behaviour, so you do not offend that one individual person. When there's a group of friends and there's 5 or 6 of you, if you're careful enough, you might not offend them. You might find a way. However, if you're dealing with the genuine people, they'll come and approach you and you can discuss it and sort it out. If you're dealing with a narcissistic person, they will turn every single other person in that group against you. When you're dealing with 100 people or 1,000 people, at some point you're going to offend somebody without meaning to, which is why we have communication. However, with a narcissist, they don't want to communicate how you have offended them because they want to feel superior. Instead, they want to punish you for offending them. They'll happily play the victim to the circumstances that they created, but they'll not be upfront and honest and open with you. And they will happily go and offend you to punish you. And when you go and speak to them, they'll just turn around and say, well, what about when you did this? Narcissistic people are very good with the smear campaign. So they will possibly take you to an event and then you can ask for a drink, or they'll offer to get you a drink, and instead of buying you a single, they'll buy you doubles or trebles in order to get you legless, to get you off your face. And then they can turn around and sit there playing the victim of, oh, look what I have to deal with. They do like a drink. They'll not necessarily tell people that you drink every night, because you don't drink every night. However, they will lead people to believe something about you. And then they will water those seeds to let them grow. They will smear your name to all those around you and tell everybody how terrible you are, what a bad person you are, how much they're trying to do to help you, so that people feel sorry for them, and people also admire them for trying to help you and trying to put up with you. And it's one way they use to make out that everything is your fault, by smearing your name to those around you. So those around you believe that the narcissist is the innocent party and you're the one that's causing all the issues. And the silent treatment and the sulks is another way a narcissist will make out that everything is your fault, because usually when someone falls silent on you, you feel like you've offended them in some way. You feel like you've hurt them or upset them, and you want to go all out to sort of take their pain away, not recognizing that they're using the silence as manipulation because they didn't get their own way, and they're wanting to punish you. They're wanting to condition you not to do or say or behave or go somewhere in future by falling silent on you, so that you're the one that feels guilty, you're the one that feels ashamed, you're the one that feels bad, and they get their own way while avoiding taking any form of responsibility for their behaviour, because they've passed all the fault over to you. They've laid the blame at your door. When it comes to dealing with narcissistic people who are forever skirting their responsibilities and always passing the blame over to you, the best things you can do is recognise their behaviour, recognise who they are, the things they're trying to do and what they're trying to achieve. Stay calm. As difficult as that is, they're needing that reaction from you. And when you're in that place of resentment, it's easier to recognise that, I see what you're trying to do. You're not going to get that from me. I'm just going to stay calm like you do when you provoke a reaction from me. You do have to be careful in doing this when it comes to a narcissistic person. If they're that hell-bent on gaining a reaction from you, and they don't get the reaction they require, this can cause a narcissistic injury, which can lead to narcissistic rage. They can lash out at you, and because you didn't give them their reaction that they were trying to provoke within you, get from you, they're going to turn around once they've reacted to you and say, you made me do it. Because in their minds, they believe you made them do it, even though their behaviour is their responsibility, as is ours. We often find when we react to somebody, we're the one that feels bad. We're the one that feels narcissistic. We're the one that feels ashamed because we're taking responsibility. We also need to take that responsibility to the next level, where we learn to recognise that that person brings out a side in us that we don't like about ourselves. So we need to distance ourselves from that person. Don't argue with them. It's pointless arguing with narcissistic people. They're not interested. They're interested in winding you up and getting you going. They're not interested in resolving issues or understanding you. They're interested in understanding what they can further use against you, to hurt you, to punish you. Nothing gets resolved with a narcissistic person. You do not have to take part in every argument you're invited to. And don't attack back. As soon as you attack back, a narcissist just goes into the victim mindset and usually gets as many enablers and flying monkeys onto their side. So you get the double whammy then. Not only have they hurt you and punished you, as soon as you attack back, you get into trouble for being the one who attacked back. However, nobody knows the lead up to the events. You're just painted out to be the crazy one. Distance. Distance yourself from those who bring the worst out in you. Distance yourself from those who want to see you fail. Distance yourself from those who enjoy your pain, enjoy your misery. Distance yourself from those who are not supportive of you. Distance yourself from those who you cannot have authentic communication with. Distance yourself from those who seek to pull you down to feel better about themselves. There are lots of different ways a narcissistic person will make out everything is your fault when not everything is your fault. Any you notice, please do add those into the comments for those reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.